Hey, we're back with another episode of Before You Buy, the show where we give you some straight-up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing, and today we're talking about The Dark Pictures, Man of Medan. This is the first game in a planned anthology series called The Dark Pictures Anthology. The idea is that they're all going to be playable, short, cinematic, spooky horror adventures with some pretty interesting little features. Oh, and before I go on, it's made by Supermassive Games, the people behind the, frankly to me, amazing game Until Dawn. That's why this one caught my eye. That's why we're talking about it. It's them doing what they do best, and this time it's not a PS4 exclusive. In a more standard move, this is actually published by Bandai Namco, and it's multi-platform. So now everyone can experience what the hell I've been raving about after playing Until Dawn on PS4. So, like what is it? I'm going to set you up without spoiling much of anything. I want to say that because that's the whole point of playing through this. Experiencing the story like a playable, fun movie where your decisions matter. So this footage isn't too far in, and I've only left in like a few tiny boring scares because I like people to still be surprised if they decide to get the game. So sorry, I keep that in mind while you're watching. But anyways, after a quick setup, you're along for the ride of like a tropical boat diving trip with 5 friends. They're the sort of typical character types, really. There's 2 brothers. One is nerdy and awkward. The other one is fairly normal, and he has a really pretty, smart, successful girlfriend. She has a real douchebag of a brother. And then there's the young, scrappy captain of the small boat the friends commissioned, who has a little bit of an air of mystery around her. They go diving for like old crashed World War II planes in the ocean, and then things go awry and they end up on a spooky ghost ship. You're in charge of the story unfolding. Like, you walk around, you look at things, you hit quick time events during cutscenes, button prompts, you make dialogue choices that actually matter. The biggest thing is to try not to get anyone killed. So, like Until Dawn, this game has tons and tons of ways that you can screw up and get characters killed off, and then, miraculously, the show goes on. It's an absolute marvel for that. You're doing quite a bit in the game, too. You're looking for clues, you're hiding from someone and timing button presses with your heartbeat, you're swimming, you're using a flashlight, you're running. Basically, the scenario variety is really good, and you can get immersed and lost in this kind of interactive movie, for lack of a better phrase. The problem was that I did find the story a bit weak. I wasn't totally engaged. I don't mind like a cliched horror movie at all. Like, I really don't. I liked Ghost Ship, and I like this game and some of the real elements it brings to the table with like sunken ship myths. But the problem was, I don't know, I didn't care about the characters, like at all. The reasons the game tried to get me to care just didn't click with me. And some of you might say, hey man, it's a B-movie horror game. The characters are supposed to just be dumb and just die. And, like, yeah, that's totally valid. I get that. You might feel a little differently. But even as dumb characters, I just wasn't as interested overall as I wanted to be. Ultimately, the story itself and just how it's put together and framed doesn't feel as strong as Until Dawn, and I was hoping they could do a bit more here. This one is not exactly watertight. Shit, that's like a boat water pun. God. There are, however, some pretty interesting interstitials where the plot will take a break and the narrator sort of guy will talk directly to you. He's an older British gentleman just chewing the scenery, and he was really a joy to watch on screen. I like him a lot. He's cool and mysterious. I think they're going for like a thing where he's the master of ceremonies, the guide for all of the planned games this anthology thing has going. And honestly, I'm down for that ride. And the scares here are somewhat decent. I'd say it relies a little bit too much on jump scares, something that I'm not the biggest fan of, but when the game does have a few good moments of dread, it hits really, really well. There's some awesome moments and some good surprises just about where the plot does go. It's cheesy, but it is kind of fun, so I can't be that hard on it. It also helps that the game is a goddamn treat to look at. Environments are like downright insane. You can probably see that. Character models sometimes look a little bit weird, but most of the time, you can get the emotion on their faces very convincingly, even if the dialogue and the voice acting is pretty rough. But when those characters are walking around creepy environments and the lighting is in full effect and you're controlling them, sometimes you don't realize when you're playing. It looks strikingly realistic sometimes, like scary real. It's not consistent, it's not always that good looking, but when it hits, and I just like looking at it. especially coupled with some actual cinematography. The way environments and scenes shift from one to another, even while you're controlling a character, is extremely impressive. If you just like playing a game and being mesmerized by, like, saying, wow, how the hell did they do this? This is that type of game. This is a really good experience for that, I'll say that. Occasionally, though, character animations would look a bit weird and the frame rate would drop a little more than I would like, and it would remind me, like, oh yeah, I'm definitely playing a game, and kind of break the immersion a little bit. This version, the one I captured, is on a PS4 Pro. I don't know what the performance is on other platforms yet, so if you're playing elsewhere, let us all know in the comments. Also, the multiplayer features are actually really creative. You can experience the story on the couch with a friend where you're both involved, but you can also play through the story online. In this, it gets a bit more creative with your online friend, like they might be off doing another scene while you're focused on something else that's going on at the same time. It's very cool and almost a completely different way to experience the game, and it might be a better way. Fun, dumb horror games are always fun with friends, if you have friends, but I think they're onto something here. I think this is like a really cool thing that they can lean into, this whole cooperative experience of like watching a good dumb horror movie together. If they continue to like go that route with this anthology series, I'm down with that, honestly. Regardless, though, it's a dumb, good, fun time all around. It's lower priced. It's like 5-ish hours, depending on how you play, and you won't actively hate it. Horror fans might not find anything new or fresh here, but video game fans might find a fun and interesting interactive experience with cool imagery and jump scares and gore. Also, the Quantum Break guy is in it. Long live Bobby from the X-Men. He should keep doing video games. I don't know. It's cool. Keep doing that, dude. But anyway, that's it before you buy. You know how this goes by now. I give you some pros, some cons, and some personal opinion, and now I want to hear yours down in the comments. Do you like Supermassive Games? Are you obsessed with Until Dawn like I was? I got a review copy. I've been playing this for a while, but it does drop this week, and I want to know what you guys are thinking. So anything you got about this game, any insight at all, let us know in the comments. But hey, guys, if you learned something, maybe we steered your purchase a little bit, clicking the like button is the best way you can help us out. We'd really appreciate that. And if you're new, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell, because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.